bringing more of Usyk door?
Well, you know, I'm at the tail end of my career. You know, it's his time now. You know, he's about to take over boxing. Like I said, given the opportunity, he's going to be the #1 fighter in the world.
How long do you think that'll be? A year, 2 years? Is it a case of having a defining fight?
Man, I don't know, man. It's in the air right now. It's in the air right now.
Can I ask you to talk on the record about what you were saying? You saw the focus in him and how different he's become.
I'm just saying, you know, he's older, he's more mature now. You know, he's more focused now, and you know, that's going to take him to the next level.
What's the difference you're seeing in him, and how long did you start seeing that?
He was a kid then, you know, and he's an adult now, you know. So he takes his craft more serious than he used to.
And is that a year ago, 2 years ago? You seen?
I'd say about 2 years ago. You know, he became a different individual because he became, you know, more mature in his body, his mind, everything.
And just to ask about you, we're hearing about the rematch with Spence. What is the latest regarding?
Well, the latest is, you know, we signed, contracted to do a rematch, and that's what it is right now.
Do you know when it's going to be? When we can hear?
I don't got no date right now, you know, but I know that's the next fight that Terence Crawford.
How long do you think it will be before we have some news about that?
I don't know. It's still up in the air, given the fact that Showtime has no longer decided to do boxing, so. Everything's up in the air right now with that, but nothing's been noted to me that the fight would not happen. So, you know, that's the fight.
And what weight will that be at, Jim?
We don't know yet. Well, the contract say 147, so you know that's what it's at right now. You know, who knows? We can decide on 54 or 147. You know, right now, you know, everything's up in the air right now.
To ask you that a different way, how many more fights do you think you have as a welterweight?
And I don't even know. I can't even call it. You know, like I said, we're still trying to decide what we're gonna do next.
And can I ask how you feel about getting stripped by the IBF? You work all that time, you become the undisputed champion.
Man, fuck the IBF. That's what I say. You know what I mean? Fuck IBF and their organization. I don't give a fuck about, you know what I mean, the IBF. They stripped me damn near 2.5 months after my title, not knowing, you know, what was going to happen next. But it's cool though, you know. I'm not mad at it, you know. I got what I needed, and that was, you know, undisputed, and the rest is history, you know. I don't care about none of that.
That doesn't frustrate you just a little bit?
No, not at all. Because like I said, I came into that fight looking to become undisputed. You know, I became undisputed, so there's nothing there for me to accomplish at that point in time. You know, so I did what I said I was going to do. I came, I saw, I conquered, and it's on to the next.
Can I ask about the politics here? I appreciate it doesn't seem to bother you that much, but Spence wasn't stripped in all that time. You've been a champion for a little over 3 months, and they take the title away from you. It just doesn't smell right, I guess.
Well, you know, it is what it is. You know, they pick and choose who they want to grant certain things to, and if they was gonna do something like that, I feel like they should have stripped Spence prior to the fight, given that they knew it was a 2-fight deal going into the fight. You know, so who knows? They knew I couldn't, you know, just get out of my contract with, you know, Spence to fight Boots. So, you know, it is what it is.
And is it a shame for Boots to become a champion without winning it in the ring on the night? I know it's not his fault.
Yeah, I know that's not ideal how he wanted to win it. You know, I know he's disappointed that he couldn't win it from a champion and whatnot. And, it's disappointing for him, but if I was him, I'd just tell him, like, I want to fight for it. Like, I'd rather fight the number 3 guy, you know, if I couldn't get the other guy, you know. Don't send me a belt in the mail, but it just seemed like, you know, everybody cool with being email champions now and whatnot, just to be called world champion. You know, he got 3 belts. He got like 2 interim belts, and now they're gonna send him another belt. And, you know, he's gonna have 3 of the same belts. And it's like, come on, man, you walking around with 3 of the same belts, man. Like, I don't know. You know, he waited a long time. I can't knock him because I was in that position once before, you know, waiting my time, trying to fight Spence, and, you know, trying to get these big opportunities to get these guys in the ring with me, and I understand his frustration. You know, I've been on the other side of the stick before, so, you know, I know it's, it's frustrating that he can't get those fights, but, you know, it's part of the game.
We've just been talking about Shakur being your successor on a pound for pound list one day. Is Boots your successor at the top of the welterweight division one day?
When
One
day
in the future.
Oh yeah, in the future, yeah, definitely. When Terence Crawford lead the division, but right now Terence Crawford is, the ultimate, of all ultimate, in the division.
How good is he going to be?
Huh?
How good is Boots going to be?
We don't know. Hey, the future tell it all. We might see, how good somebody is today, and tomorrow, it might not look so good. So, he got a bright future. He's talented. He's crafty. Got a lot of skills, and only time will tell.
And can I just ask how much respect you've got for Spence taking that rematch? He was on a one-sided beating, and he wants to fight you again. That takes some balls, doesn't it?
Well, that just tells the championship mentality that he has. He lost a grueling fight, and he feel as if it just wasn't his night that night, and he want to prove the world that on a rematch that he can defeat me. So, I take my hat off to him, and it was always respect from the jump.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks.
Terence. Another guy that's waited a long time for a big fight is Demetrius Andrade. Do you think he's a lot better than people think?
Oh, for sure. It's disappointing. Like I said, he's another fighter that being railroaded by politics in the sport of boxing that never was given his opportunities to show how great he is. And hopefully he can do it come, fight night with Benavidez. But, that's a big task to tackle, given the fact that everybody, already matching Benavidez and Canelo against each other. And if it's a close fight, it's more money in Benavidez Canelo than Andrade and Canelo. So, I feel like he's going to have to win in tremendous fashion to get the victory.
How do you? I know you've worked with Snack before. What kind of edge do you think they give to an athlete?
I don't foresee say it's the edge. I think it's the fighter. Everybody's different. Everybody's program is different on Snack. I just use certain things with Snack that other people don't, or they do. So, it is what it is.
Terence, what do you think of Canelo kind of ruling out the fight against you?
Well, he was getting a lot of backlash on his fight with Charlo. Charlo then put up a good fight, given that, he was going up 2 weight classes, and a lot of people felt as if Canelo was a bully in that fight. But I just think that Charlo just went in there and just tried to get a payday. He was going there with the mindset of winning. He just went in the mindset of not getting stopped.
So has the Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, yeah,
when we talked to you before the Spence fight, you were kind of like 68. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's too much. What changed since the Spence fight that made you go, no, I can go to 68?
Man, I just be talking, you know what I mean? I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be good.
What's the status on the rematch between you and Errol Spence? And if so,
man, you wasn't here earlier.
Yeah, I know. I was out there getting the moment.
Why do you think Terence? Is it a case though where it's like I can handle that heat if he lands, or he's just not going to land it if you guys fight?
Well, you gonna get hit in the fight. That's one thing we all know. And I believe in my abilities, and I believe in myself that I can handle anything that any fighter brings at me or throw at me. I gotta be able to believe in myself if I'm gonna get in the ring with you. I can't go in the ring thinking, oh man, if this guy hit me, he's gonna knock me out, or if this guy hit me, he's gonna break my ribs. So, I wouldn't even entertain a fight if I felt like, that'd be a fight where I couldn't hold up if I was getting punched on it. Now, if he was talking about Deontay Wilder or something like that, just man, that dude better not hit me.
Yeah, so,
what is your opinion about like the heavyweights, like the Wilder, Joshua? They will share like main card over Middle East. What do you think about that?
Man, that's good. That's good. Those guys going over there and You know, the Middle Eastern guys is putting on hell of a shows. You know, they making it a big event, and I think that they showing us in the United States, you know, a blueprint of the type of event that we should be doing surrounded by boxing. You know, when you go and you look at the event on TV, and when you see how, you know, the fight is choreographed outside and the lights and, you know, just, you know, everything that's surrounding it, you just be like, wow, you know, you appreciate it. But then when you come to a fight in America, it's just like, all right, well, you're getting these two guys fighting, and that's what you guys get. You know, so I think.
Hey, Terence, you know, with all the politics that you went through, from all the different promotion companies and stuff, you kind of led the pack of like doing it your way. Shakur is obviously underneath your wing, and there's obviously promotional things from like maybe if he wants a Tank fight or a Devin fight. What does those conversations go like when you talk to Shakur about making those fights that, you know, took you forever that you finally achieved?
Well, I just tell him it take time. It take time to make those type of fights, especially when you guys is on two different playing fields. You know, one top rank, one, you know, signed with Al Heyman, and they not doing business right now. So you just gotta be smart and let everything pan out and play out how it's gonna do, and everything else will fall in suit.
Hey, Terence, next week we have a big fight between Andre and Benavidez, man. Who do you got now?
Where you been at, man? You can't keep asking me all these. Come on, man.
Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk is the fight that the boxing needs in this moment.
You said Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk is the fight that boxing needs?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the fight that boxing needs, given the fact that Tyson Fury has a very large name, and, you know, not too many people follow Usyk, but Usyk is a very talented fighter, and I feel like that's the fight that the heavyweight division needs to solidify one undisputed champion. And I feel like, you know, the fight that boxing needs is the fights that's going to make the most sense and the fight that the fans want to see. I think that's what the fights that boxing needs right now.
Given all the stuff with the sanctioning bodies and the stripping you, have you ever thought about just saying, you know what, I'm not paying any more sanctioning fees going forward? I'm done with the titles?
I look at the sanction bodies and stuff like that. You know, it is what it is. It's a business. Everybody got to make a business. I mean, everybody got to eat. You know, I'm not, you know, opposed to, you know, them eating. It's just how they eating. Like, you know, you take a percentage for these fighters and they fighting for their life. You know, I feel like as if, you know, we should get a bonus for winning the championship. Like, where in any other sport in the world do they have to pay to be champion? You know, that's unheard of. You know, it's normally you get a bonus when you win. Like, so I'm against it, but, you know, it's been around so long that us fighters coming up, we want to be champions so long, so bad that it just go over our head until we get to a certain position in the sport
that's still the wrong,
where, you know, it matters. That 3% matters. You know.
Hey, Terence.
Do you care about winning a title in the fourth weight class?
Well, it's history. It's history. But like I always say, you know, the champion makes the title. You know, you got a lot of champions out here that people don't even know. You know, so it's not about the belt, it's about the champion that's holding the belt.
Would you be more interested in Zoo at 54 since you ruled Charlo out after that performance with Canelo?
Well, Charlo still got 3 belts. Mm-hmm. You know, he's still the champion. You know, once you win, you know, the ring belt, that's the only belt that really matters. Mm-hmm. You know, I can lose all my belts right now and still have the ring belt, and they can fight for them belts, and it wouldn't matter what they fight for because they only going to be recognized as a second-tier champion, and the #1 champion is going to be the ring magazine champion.
So the Charlo fight is still, you still like that option possibly?
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not going to rule it out. You know, I'm not going to rule it out, but at the same time, you know, right now, you know, I'm not looking to fight Charlo.
Did you already get in his head that night when you talked to him over the ropes? Like you planned, you know?
I don't know, man. I just, you know what I mean? I told him what I was going to do, and, you know, as I was doing what I told him I was going to do, I let him know that he was next, and you know, it is what it is.
Hey Terence, can you redeem the Tyson Fury Francis going MMA? You know, wrestle some of those guys and show that, you know, you got one over here that can get down with the MMA guys on their rules?
Man, that's tough, man. That's tough. I always told y'all, you know.
I've seen you wrestle, so, you know, I know
wrestle.
you wrestle.
I definitely can wrestle, you know what I mean? But it's more to wrestling than, you know, that goes into UFC. You know, you got jiu-jitsu, you got kickboxing, you got boxing, you got wrestling, you got so many, you know what I mean, aspects of fighting, you know, that goes into a fight. So it's like, you know what I mean, you walking into like a street fight with a fighter that got all kinds of street fighter abilities. So it's like you go in there and he kick you, then what?
But the boxing fans, like, they're like, we got one, we got Terence Crawford, we can get it back, you know, go around.
We definitely can get it back, but man, don't kick me.
Terence, about Shakur Stevenson, you think he has all skills in boxing to be the next Shakur Stevenson?
Man, he's going to be #1. I told y'all that. I've been telling y'all that for years.
Does any part of you worry for Shakur, though, that it'll happen to him like it happened to you? He's got to wait till his 30s to get Tank and Devin.
No, I don't think so. He's young right now. He's in a great place in his career right now. And I think that, you know, everything's going to work out for him. He just got to keep looking sharp, and, you know, everything else is going to follow suit.
But you had to leave that place.